Hello friends, how are you doing? It's a weekend now, and I think I almost finished this project. So this is a follow-up meeting about this approval workflow project. So I think this is the third video. So if you are not following this series, and maybe you can check the first and the second video about this project. Okay. So right now, I think I add all the stuff, all the code in this project for now. So I'd like to share with you and close this project. And I will share the script. All the script will be shared with you, so you can make a copy of it, or you can learn something from it. Okay. So let me show you what we haven't done in the last video. So in the last video, I only showed you how to manage the users and send invitation to users, and then you can delete the users from the manage invitation section here. Okay, and manage user like this. So you can edit the user access and you can delete the users. I already showed it to you in the last video. So today, I'm only focused on this, the basic function for this project. So the approval. So basically, you can send the new approvals to others, and the other people can approve it or reject it or forward the approval to another people. Okay, the basic stuff just like this. So here I have 4 disabled button here because there is no pending approvals in the database. There is no sent approvals, also no closed one, and the last one is for all of your approvals, which could be sent from others to you or you send to somebody else. Okay, so right now I'd like to maybe, let me check if we have any users. So I have 3 users here. So let's try to log out first because these users are fake users except myself here. So if I send a approval to this kind of email address, they cannot receive it because this email address is a fake address. So I'd like to log in with this admin account and send the approvals to myself. Okay, so let's log out first. Now you have this login page here, and here you can sign up. Okay, I think I have showed it to you in the last video, but I did some tiny change on the UI, so it looks like a little bit better. All right, so you basically can log in, sign up, log in. All right, so let's try to log in with this admin account and the password. So okay, now I just log in here. All right, so once you log in as admin user, you can send invitations, manage users, and manage invitations here. For these sections, I already introduced it in the last video, so I'm not going to talk about it today. So right now, I'm going to create a new approval. So I'm going to click this new approval button and assign it to myself. So I just pick my email address here. So title, I will say test for approval, approve, okay? And description, I'll copy it. And in the last video, I think we have an issue with the file uploader because there's something wrong there. So I think I have fixed it. So let's try it and upload the image here with the name 11.jpg and create it. So if everything goes fine, so you will see with this message, that means this approval has been sent to the user, to this email address just enter, not the user. even this user is not registered in your database, you can send the approval to this email address. Okay, so if they will receive the email, okay, but they don't have to log in here and approve it. I will show it later because there is a link in the email. They can click it and approve it there. All right, so now as you can see here, I have a new approval to somebody else, so you still don't have any pending approvals. But here in this send approvals, you have one item here. So if you click it in here, you see you have this attachment here, and the status is pending. And as because you are the owner of this approval, so you can cancel it if this is not approved yet, I think. All right, let's do another. Let's do one more for what? For reject. Okay. So I say test approval for reject and copy it. I'm not going to upload another file. Just create it. So the file is not a must-have value. So okay, all right, and then do another one for the forward. Okay, test approval for reassignment, and copy the title, put it here, and create. Okay, now go back to home. I have 3 sent approvals, and also you have a list of all of your approvals, and you can see the status here. But in this section, you don't have the action buttons to approve or reject, just like this. Because so right now I just created 3 approvals to myself, so I needed to log in with this account. So I'm just log out and log in with my account. All right. So once I logged in, and so as you can see here, I have 3 pending approvals, and I have ability to approve it or reject it or reassign it to somebody else. Okay, so here I can do it, but if you go to your email box, you should be able to see a link. So with clicking that link, it will bring you to the page for the actions. Okay, so here I have 3 new emails in my email box, and as you can see here, I have 3 pending approvals, and the title was added to the email subject. Okay, right, let's do first one. So for the first one, as you can see here, since this is a pending approval, so I have a button here to do the action. So as you can see, there's some basic information about this approval. You have the status is pending. That means this approval is still open for approval. And you have the title, description, and somebody, so assigned to yourself, and who created this approval, and some comments. If someone forward to you, you will have some comments like this. Okay. So let's try to. So I will try it later for this button. So right now I'm just to try to approve it in the app. Okay, so if you click this approve button, so you should have a pop-up window like this, and it will grab the basic information for this approval, so you know which approval you're doing. Okay, so you have the title, you have the description, and the action is approval. So these 3 input are disabled, so you cannot edit it, but you can add comments. All right, so let's say looks good, and you can cancel it, and you can also click yes to approve it. So it's going to send in the data to the Google Sheet. So if everything works fine, you'll see a result like this. So approved, and we also have comments for like we're going to have the who approved it and the status of the approval and the comments. Okay, and I close it. So once I approve it, I should be able to see it in the closed approvals. So as you can see here, I have this one closed, and as the status is approved, and the comments are also put it here. Okay. So if I go back to this email and I click this action button, you'll see it will brings you to a new page. Okay. So since this this is already approved, so I think you don't have any action to do, but this page will that's weird. Is this one? Let me see if this is test for approve. So let's try to refresh this page. I think I should get a message like this is already approved. I think I need to change this URL to the dev mode to see if that is what I am looking for. So still not working. Something is wrong, I believe. Approval. So this one is for the approval. Pending approval. Test for approval. For the one I have already approved. Test for, okay. So this one I have approved is this one test approval for reject. So for this one, test for approval with this attachment is still pending, so it's still active. So it's not this link. So if I go back to my inbox and the test for reject this one, and okay. No, I already got the approved email, not this email. So it should be test for reject. It should be this email address, and in this action button here, if you click it, you should see a message like error message like this. Yes, this approval is closed. So you also see the status of the approval is approved. Okay, so that's something I'd like to show you. All right, so now as you or maybe you already noticed that I got an email for this approval. Since this approval is now closed, now I get an email like this, and both the creator of the approval and the approver of this approval, both of them will get the email like this. Okay, if the approval is closed. You will get the email like this. Since this admin.gmail is a fake address, and I got this failure message from Google. Okay, and you see here, you have this status here for this approval. Okay, so this is the first example. I'm doing it to approve it. So right now I try to do this one. This is test for approvals. This I'm going to reject it. All right, so try to reject it. Test reject. So this action is a reject, and so no good. Yes. All right, it's just very similar to the similar message to the one I just did for the approval. Okay, so I close it, and you also can check it here. Reject this one. Okay, so you should be able to see a message here. Yes, and you also have the reject approval in the subject, and also you can see it here for the status. So the users will be notified. Very similar, is the same. Okay, so the last example here I'd like to share with you is reassign it to somebody else. Okay, so let's go back to pending approvals here, and because I don't want to use another email address to do the test, so I'm going to forward these pending items to myself. Okay, so right now here there is no comments, and I think this is also a solution to solve the multiple level approval. Okay, so if right now you are the first level approver, you can forward it and with the comments to the second level approvers. Okay, so you basically put the approvers, second level approvers here, their email address here, and you leave a comment here. So maybe say first level approved. Okay, so if I do this, and it will send another approval message to this new user. So here I'm using my own email address, so I still can see these pending items here because I forward it to myself. Okay, so you can do it, you can forward it, you can reassign it to somebody else, maybe the second level of the approver. So here they will see a message like this in the comments. That means you have already approved it, and your second level approver can see an email like, okay, where is it? Not this one, I don't think so. So for that one, you should be able to see comments here. So this is the original one for the first level. Okay, now you see it here, and you assign it to the second level, and here there is a comments from you, okay, as the first level approver, and you get a message like this. So this is not a perfect solution, but right now I don't need to change my code to do the multiple level approver. So maybe a alternative solution for you if you are trying to use my tool. Okay, so of course you can do it with the code change in this project. Okay, but I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on it. All right, so basically you can forward it to somebody else just like this, and right now I'd like to do it, so I got another approval request reassigned for somebody else. Okay, so we can approve it or reject it, or even you can forward it or reassign it to the third person or your third level approver. Okay, so right now I'm going to approve it and close this this approval. Okay, looks fine. I'm going to call it second level. Second level looks fine. Yes. Alright. Now I don't have any open items pending here, and you get two comment lines here. So the first level and the second level, right? So close it, and yes, all the closed items are here. You can see approved, and this one is rejected, and you also can see it here, not an issue. And you go back to your home page. So I think the major part of this project is completed. So far, okay, so let me show you one more thing. As I just told you, you can send this approval to somebody else. They are not in this, so they are not the registered users in this app. Okay, you can send it to anyone. All right, so they cannot approve it here in this app, but they can do it with the link in the email. Okay, so let me show you. Let's do a test at Gmail, not Gmail, another example.com. Okay, and this will be a fake address, and I should see an email in my sandbox. Okay, so let's try to do it because this email address is fake one, and let's give a title for test for approve in email, and description, copy it, paste here, and create. All right, now this new approval has been created, and go to home. If you go to the send one, you should be able to see it, but this is not a user. So in this app, if we go to where manage user session, you will not find the users here. Okay, so but if this email is a real email address, the user will not see an email like this. So as you can see here, the email address is not found, and they will receive an email like this, and there is a button here to do the actions. Okay, so since this is a pending item, so they can click it, and all right, it will bring you to this page. Okay, so within this page, you don't need to log in. Okay, and anyone can access it if you have this ID and the email address here. Okay, so if this email address is wrong, you will have a wrong message. Let me change it. So basically, it is very hard for you to guess what the ID and what is the email address for the approval. Okay, it's basically not possible. All right, so let's just correct the email address. Test one. So only you entered the correct ID and the email in this query, and this data can be found in our database. It will bring you to this page. Okay, so now the users can choose their actions. So they can review the approvals for the basic information like the title, description, who created, and the files, attachments, and even some comments. Okay, so you can choose actions. You can approve it, or you can reject it, or you also can reassign it to somebody else. So once you choose this reassigned, you should be able to enter another email address. So right now I'm forwarded to myself. Okay, and the comments, let's say Ashton should review it and submit. So I'm going to submitting this form data, and once you forward it successfully, you should be able to see a message like this. All right, so now you refresh this page, you know what happens. Yeah, so because this is not this email address is not there, because you just reassign it to another email address, and the script cannot find this email address in the database. That's why you get this error message. So that means you just forward it to somebody else, and if I go back to my email box, I should be able to receive an email like I think is maybe need a while. Yeah, I got the email like this. Okay, so as you can see here, it's forward from this test at example.com, and the status is pending, and with a comment say I should review it, and I can do the action here. Alright, so now I can see it here, and this is the comments, and I can try to reject it. So no good. And submit. Alright, so you also can see this and reject it. And two comment lines here. And if you try to refresh it, it will bring you to this message like close to approval. So the approval status is rejected. Okay, so you don't have to log in, but you have to go to this URL with correct ID and email address. Okay, so I think that's almost everything for now. But I think I remember I told you in the last video I will maybe go through the code with you, but I think I already spent some time for today's video. I'm not sure if you are liking to go through the code because the code is a mess. Okay, I have to say, because a lot of files, as the last time in the last video I've showed you, because I don't know where to start. You know, there is a lot of stuff here, but the major stuff are in this file. So basically, as I explained to you in the last video, you don't have to focus on these files begin with the HTML, because the components, just the components. So once you understand one of them, you can pick a simple one, maybe just like the login. You only focus on this one, and you can see what happened here. So maybe I can do a little bit explanation here. So as you can see here, I am doing a if statement. So this is a view statement here. So basically, if I have a variable here called current session. So if the current session is logged in, we are going to bring these sections to the page. Okay, so this is the idea. So if you go to the sign up page, you'll see the same structure like this. So if the current session is sign up, you are going to show this page, so show this sign up form. Okay, show the content here, and I'm going to hide all of other content. That's why you go back, why you click log out. If you right now you are in the login section, so all of the other stuff are hide except the nav bar and the footer. So if you click this sign up button, it will bring you to this sign up section and hide all of other sections. Okay, so this is the idea how we do the navigation, and you don't have to do the pages in the URL. Okay, so it's very similar to this, but this about page is a new page, because if I click it, you will see another. As you can see here, I have a question mark with a query for the page. For this P here, represents the page, and I will give it which page I should go. So it's this about page. So this about page is defined here, the content here, but for the rest of them, they're defined in this index. I think this index.html. So basically, in my app script, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 pages. Okay, this index page is a main page for all of the application stuff. So if we go back to home, and you will bring to this index file, and this 404, just in case you enter something wrong, maybe like page not found. So anything you enter here will bring you to this kind of page not found, just like this. Okay, all right, let's go back, and we also have a page called API. So that's what we are doing for the people. They don't have to log in, and they can do the approval and the reject through this page. Okay, so that's the page I just showed you in the email. Okay, so just this link, it will bring you to a page like not this one. This is already reject. So this pending one, as you can see here, if you go back to the URL, you will see something like yes, p equal to API. and you will have 3 parameters. The first one is about the page, and the second one is about the ID, UUID, and the last one is about the email. Okay, just 3 parameters. All right, so that's valid one for what? For this page, for this API page. Okay, so this is how we handle the stuff here. Alright, so that's the basic structure of this web application, and how to do the navigation and how to show and hide content of your document. Okay, so basically, if we go to session, I have a go to session function here. As you can see here in this view object, I have a date object here, and we have a variable here called current session to control all of the sections, and by default is a login session, and I have a function to change the session. So if you search go to session function, you should be able to find in this JS file. So as you can see here, have this function to do something like this. So you can do more things, but basically this function you're going to change this. So you're going to change the current session to the section you need. So if you put login, you'll bring the current session to login, and if anything else, you're going to bring something else. For this switch case, we'll do other stuff to the page. Okay, maybe some data default data, but basically we do nothing because there is a break here, and with any actions. Okay, just in case I need to do something else, I can do it here before I load the page. Okay. Alright, so because there is too many functions in this spreadsheet, and I don't have time to spend to explain it to you guys. So basically, all the JavaScript are here in this js.html file, and all the code related to the spreadsheet and how you can get data from this spreadsheet and save data to this spreadsheet. You can find it in this code.js file and this functions file. Okay, in this functions file, you will see something like include function to include the HTML file to the index file. So if you go back to the index file, where is the index file? Index file. So you can see I'm using a lot of this include function here to just insert this document to this main page here index. Okay, so all of these functions are defined here. Maybe the get the page URL, as you can see here, we get the URL of the web application with this function, and you also can assign a page name to it. So maybe you can get a page for the about, maybe you can get the page for other stuff, just like this. And maybe we also can have this kind of token stuff, and basically I save the token, I use the token with this cage service, and this service have expression date in seconds. Basically the maximum seconds is like this, basically 6 hours. So this is maximum for Google provided us. Okay, so you can change it if you don't want the user to maybe 30 seconds they need to log in again. You can change it here, and also handle password here, because I saved the password to the property service. I saved the password to the document properties, and then I didn't save them. And the first time I saved the password to this users sheet. Okay, but I decided to remove it because I don't want people to see it from here. All right, so basically it's saved behind the screen, and you have to get it with the code. Okay, and we also encode and decode the password here, right? And other stuff like send the invitation, a lot of stuff here. In this code section here, yes, a long list of functions. Basically, very basic stuff to communicate. It's like a bridge between the spreadsheet to the web application. Okay, all of that stuff happening here, and you can get user information, get invitation information, and get the approvals. Just basic stuff here. All right. So I think I will end here, and maybe if you have maybe you have a lot of questions about it, maybe I can do more videos about this project and try to explain a little bit more about the code stuff. Okay, and I will end it here. And leave your comments or questions below my video. And if you are interested in this project and you need to do some modification, you can send me email. Okay, and thank you very much for your watching, and see you next time. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.